Okay, so here we are coming into the Skybiz Media Green Screen Studios, and this is basically what we have here. It's a professional green screen studio setup. We can have multiple different arrangements. This particular arrangement is actually quite complicated, as we are filming live here, and we are actually working it through Zoom, and we are filming the exact studio but reversed. So we won't have our talent obviously sitting on this side. We'll have another talent sitting over there on the same type of chair, so everything is synchronized and continuity is maintained. And this will be in England. So we'll be filming this at the same time in Australia and in England, and then we'll capture the two cameras here and the two cameras in the UK, and then we'll bring them in, and we will then do some magic with our keying software. So it'll actually look like the two people are in the same room. We'll put a backdrop. One will be in Sydney, one will be in London, a moving video backdrop through the virtual studio window. So by the time we've finished, we'll have these two people on different sides of the world looking like they're in the same office, talking to each other, and that will be the video. So this is quite interesting here. If I show you this, these are our cameras, of course. All right, so we have AGCX 350s, professional 4K 10-bit cameras, which we film. We can see on here. Now, this is actually really quite clever because what we have here, we can actually output this. This will be our scratch video. All right, this will be going to our Zoom. These ones won't be. These will be our scratch video. I'll just move that out of the way there. That's good. And so the other person in the UK will be watching this particular screen. It will be running through Zoom. Here's that screen there. But the way we've set this up so that the UK team can actually see what we're doing is we can change that. All right, so they can see exactly on Zoom in the prep exactly what the angles look like. There we go. If I bring that in a little bit closer, and there we go, we can change all the angles so that the UK team have an exact idea of what we are for continuity. And then what we'll do is when we're ready, we will then press this button here, and we will change to the screen that will be coming off this camera over there. So that will be we're not using webcams, we're using 4K cams for everything, including the Zoom webcam. All right, so that'll give us a good idea, and then that will then talk directly to the talent over here, who will be our interviewer, and we will be on this screen. Obviously, we're not going to have a tropical screen. We'll have the other person in the UK coming through. Audio was very, very complicated to set up with this, so we had to use a very specialized setup. So we used a mixer for audio, and this mixer actually grabs the audio from the computer through Zoom, puts it through here. Then we have a microphone or an earphone, particularly for the talent, and it's, if you can see there, it's that little headphone there, the earpiece headphone. Then we have one for ourselves with our own headphones, and then these two inputs actually go to scratch audio. So on channel 2 of our cameras, we will have the scratch audio from the UK so that we can synchronize everything in post. And of course, we've got two cameras, so we have two scratch audios, one scratch audio going over there and the other scratch audio going over here. That way we can synchronize everything, and everything should flow very smoothly in post. We are using a CamLink setup All right, that's our capture device, which is a 4K, I think a 4K 60 Camlink capture device, and that captures the audio and the video straight out of the Sumo 19. So we have all cameras going into here. This is a switching unit. All right, so we can switch between all different cameras just by touching on screen. It's also a recorder, but the output of that goes straight into the Camlink, and from the Camlink goes straight into the computer, and of course that goes straight to Zoom. So we can also set this up if we needed to with OBS for a different setup if we were perhaps live streaming, this kind of thing. So you can see over here, we have our big screen, and that screen was set up with a camera in the middle, okay? But we can see our teleprompter over there, and it's far enough that we won't get eye movement, so we can see our teleprompter over there, and more importantly, or as importantly, we can see our Zoom talent in the UK on the other side of that screen. And of course then we have the camera which is pointing to us, and they will have a similar setup in the UK. We are using several different types of audios. We will have as the primary audio the AVX, Sennheiser AVX lapel mic. We have redundant audio up here, which is the NTG3, and then we have scratch audio, which will be the Rode studio mic, which will not taking anything off necessarily, but it will be scratch audio so that the guys in the UK have a clear audio of our talent who will be talking here. We've got several different lighting systems that we've set up here. All right, interestingly enough, as is always the case with green screens, you end up with spill. So we've neutralized the spill with a Lee 247, that's a Lee, L-E-E, 247 minus green gel, full strength minus green gel, and that will put a magenta cast on there, which won't be seen, but will neutralize any green spill. So we went through and tested everything. We had the talent coming in the other day, all dressed up. We looked for green spill, and we adjusted all of our magentas in order to get rid of the green spill. And as you can see, they're all basically on the floor here. All right, so all of these are to reduce upspill from the reflection up onto the talent. At a higher level, we then have our clear daylight CR97 lamps here, okay, and then we have our big smooth lamps over here with our big soft boxes. Okay, so everything is nicely lit up. The key that we got during testing was absolutely fantastic, a very clean key. We are using the Manfrotto green screen setup. We're using a double green screen setup here with a joiner in the middle. Now, in order to negate any issues in post, we've actually used the Rosco green screen tape, and this completely becomes invisible when we're keying. We've also gone around the floor, and we've actually used the Rosco tape all around the floor. A word of caution, we originally had our floor painted this color, which was a Dulux green screen chroma key paint specifically for that, but we were getting too much reflection. So we had a green cloth here. We laid down the green cloth because we weren't happy with the floor that we'd had, and that negated again a significant amount of the green spill. What we're going to do with our flooring is we're going to repaint that with the Rosco green screen video paint, the Rosco green screen video paint, and that should negate pretty much all of that green spill that we were having. You try to do these things on the cheap a little bit. Unfortunately, they come back and bite you in the butt. There's a reason that paint does cost a lot more, and that's because it's going to save you a lot of aggravation in post. So you can see that we've got all our lighting here. Okay, again, lots of lighting. We've got nine points of lighting here actually to get this where we wanted it. Everything is safety conscious. All our tripods are all marked so everybody can see on set. Nobody's tripping over everything or anything here. Okay. We also have behind here, the walls are actually, if we can see that there, the walls are all soundproofed. All right, so that's good. And we have our big block out cloths here, and that just stops, you know, any reflections. Green spill and reflection is an absolute disaster. You can see it there on the ceiling. So we want as least a green spill as possible. Like I said, we use 2 computers all set up here. Just as a word of interest, we used a HDMI straight out of that camera into the MD-LX converter, and then that converted it straight down there into the Sumo. That way we could then split out of this and have another HDMI if we needed it. So just the way we set it up here. Oh, this is a good idea here. Get yourself one of these, a little electric blower, and then you can just blow up all the bits and pieces that keep coming on set so that you get a good clean screen key on the floor. So that's about it. That's the professional Skybiz Media Studios. This is a portable setup, actually. This is not permanent in here. We can take this to different locations. Depending on the setup, it can take at least a day, a full day to set everything up, depending on the complexity. If it's not a complex thing, it can be just a half a day, set everything up, 2 cameras ready to go. But when we start having issues, or not issues, when we're starting having complexity with Zoom, live streaming, doing all of this live feed, it takes a day to set that up. But we can set that up anywhere in Southeast Queensland. We have the full capabilities to bring this all down and reset it up in any space, a hotel, somewhere like that, or a big room. Anywhere where we can sort of set this type of, you know, equipment up, we're able to come out there and do that. So this is the Skybiz Studios, the Green Screen Studios, brought to you by ourselves, Skybiz. Over and out.